Picture this: a mother dog, just days after giving birth, picks up one of her puppies by the scruff of its neck, and instead of hiding it deeper into the shadows, she carries it straight toward a person, a stranger. The one creature nature never wired her to trust with something this fragile. Every instinct in her body should be screaming the opposite. Hide the babies. Trust no one. Guard them with your life. So why does she walk toward us instead of away? Here's the strange part. This isn't rare. It isn't a fluke. Across shelters, streets, and backyards, mother dogs have been quietly doing this for generations, handing their most vulnerable offspring to the one species evolution built them to be wary of. And the answer to why has less to do with trust as we usually think of it, and more to do with something borrowed, something rewritten deep inside her biology. It starts with a hormone. In 2015, researchers at Asabu University in Japan sat down 30 dogs with their owners for a simple 30-minute reunion. Nothing dramatic, just dogs and people looking at each other. But something happened in that room that changed how we understand this bond. The dogs who held eye contact longest triggered a measurable spike of oxytocin, not just in themselves, but in their owners too. The same hormone spike you'd see between a mother and her newborn. When researchers tried the same experiment with hand-raised wolves, raised by humans from birth, nothing happened. No spike, no loop. Just a wolf, looking at a person, feeling nothing chemically special. Somewhere in the last 15,000 years, dogs didn't just learn to tolerate us. Their bodies rewired the exact circuit built for mother and infant bonding and pointed part of it at us. That alone would be strange enough, but it goes deeper than hormones. In 2017, a Princeton study looked at the actual DNA of dogs and wolves side by side. Buried in a specific stretch of canine genetics, tied to a region called WBSCR17, they found something unexpected. That same genetic region, when altered in humans, causes a rare condition called Williams-Buren syndrome, marked by an almost total absence of fear towards strangers. People with it trust instinctively, immediately, without the usual caution most of us carry. Dogs with the altered version of that gene spent far more time seeking out humans than trying to solve problems alone. Wolves, raised in identical conditions, defaulted to independence every time. It wasn't training, it wasn't environment, it was written into the code. So maybe it isn't surprising that dogs treat us the way human infants treat their own mothers. In the late 90s, a researcher in Hungary ran a version of a famous psychology test originally designed to study attachment in human babies on dogs instead. He watched what happened when an owner left a room, when a stranger stayed behind, when the owner returned. The pattern was almost identical to what you'd see in a one-year-old child. Dogs explored and played more when their owner was present. They went to the door when the owner left. And when the owner came back, it was the owner they ran to, not the stranger who'd been sitting right there the whole time. To a dog, you're not just the person who feeds her. You're what researchers call a secure base, the one place fear doesn't reach. And there's one more piece. Dogs don't just trust us, they ask us for help, on purpose, when something is beyond them. In a study out of Budapest, dogs and hand-raised wolves were both given a food puzzle with no real solution. The wolves kept trying, alone, over and over. The dogs did something the wolves never did. They turned around and looked at the nearest human, not once, repeatedly, as if to say, I can't do this by myself, but maybe you can. That single look-back behavior has been seen in free-ranging street dogs who've never lived with a family, and it shows up even stronger in breeds built for cooperative work. It isn't taught, it's instinct, aimed at a partner. So when a mother dog carries her puppy to a person, she isn't doing anything new. Mother canids have relocated their young for longer than history remembers, moving them den to den, spot to spot, toward whatever place currently feels safest. What's changed isn't the instinct, it's the map. Somewhere along the way, human presence got redrawn onto that map as safe ground. There's footage that went viral not long ago, out of Miami, of a dog nicknamed Jonah doing exactly this, carrying her puppies straight toward a crowd of strangers at a baseball game, as if she already knew how the story would end. But here's what nobody tells you about that trust. It isn't automatic. It has to survive being tested. There's a darker chapter to this story, and it's the one that proves everything else true. In commercial breeding facilities across the country, researchers studied over 1,000 rescued mother dogs who'd spent their lives isolated from any real human contact. What they found wasn't an absence of biology. The hormone systems were still there. The genes were still there. What was missing was the relationship needed to switch any of it on. Years later, even in loving homes, many of those mothers still flinched at a gentle touch. The wiring for trust never got the chance to fire. It's a hard reminder that this bond isn't something dogs are simply born owing us. It's something that has to be built, moment by moment, gently enough for the biology underneath it to finally do what it was designed to do. Which makes the ordinary version of this story almost unbelievable when you step back far enough. A handful of genetic tweaks, one repurposed hormone loop, and somehow they produce the only large predator in history that will voluntarily hand its most defenseless offspring to another species entirely. Not because she has no choice, because somewhere in 15,000 years of living beside us, something in her decided we were safe enough to bet everything on. Every time it happens, a mother placing her puppy gently at a stranger's feet, it's a small, compressed echo of that entire 15,000-year story. One instinct, pointed toward us instead of away, and it quietly reshaped human history. Guardians, hunters, herders, companions, all of it, because one species decided we were worth the risk. So, the next time you wonder why she brought her puppy straight to you, remember she wasn't testing you. She already decided. You passed a long time ago,